your little, after I said 2, you had like a, it's a good sound.
I noticed that you have named today's recording session Nerd Slush. And please, God, please tell me that you received a nerd slush today.
I've got a nerd slush. I do.
Oh,
Well, I
girl
did.
crush.
It was. Yeah, it was. I did. I got me. We were coming into town from doing some work on Hunter's family's property, and so we were like coming right into town, and like that's where like the last options are, before we come home. And I was like, man, I would like do some serious questionable stuff for an icy right now.
Crime. Yeah.
And he was like, well, we're like about to pass Sonic, and I like looked at him for about 45 seconds and I was like, okay. And we went and I got a lemonade nerd slush, and the lemonade is like not very good, but the nerds make up for it. So it works out pretty good.
Listen, how dare you? You know better. Get the blue slush. Get the blue slushy always.
I'm a fan
with the nerds in it.
I'm a fan of the grape. I generally go for the grape slush with nerds in it because it kicks ass. But I tried to be adventurous today, and it wasn't as good, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
And look what happened. Look what happened to you. You got a subpar icy product, but some delicious nerds.
I got some delicious. Listen, I love nerds, man.
Nerds
gave us like fucking movie theater boxes. You know the movie theater boxes?
Yes.
And Hunter and me each got a movie theater size box of nerds, and those fuckers are like maybe gone by now. Like my already existing painful cavities are already so much worse. And it's like, bitch, you have to we have to go to the dentist like right now. Like danger zone.
I think that the movie box size thing of nerds is a bag of holding. It never runs out.
It never
until
runs
it's
out,
just
dude.
Gone.
Dude, and you drink them. You open the side hatch and you turn it up and you drink your nerds like a proper fucking experienced adult.
If I see you putting nerds in your hand before you eat them, I'm going to slap them out of your gross little toddler hand.
Yeah, that's how you get sticky hand. That's how you get sticky hand.
That's been a theme today. We've had the sticky hand theme today because you said you had the old hand.
I do. We have very strange conversations, which I disagree.
I'm just going to try to let y'all put the pieces together.
I disagree with you though, and I think that I do have the old hand. But we were like, well, what if you I'm a lizardy enough person? If I shed these hands, maybe I would grow new hands. We're like, well, wait a minute, but then they'd be like baby hands, and you just kind of have these awkward little baby hands, and they have to age and catch up. So they're like my age, but they're like 28 years, 29 years behind. So it's like they're going to have a toddler phase, and they're always going to be sticky no matter what. They're just going to be gross, sticky, clammy, fucking wet hands all the time.
Yeah. I love a gross toddler hand. You never know where it's been. No. Get it away.
It's always the wrong temperature.
It's a couple of degrees in the wrong direction in either way, and it is always trying to touch you.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, listen. Let's talk business. Let's get down and cut some cheese.
Wow.
What are we talking? Yeah.
Get down.
Open your butts
and cut
some cheese.
Cheese. I like
What are we talking about today? What is the saying? Like, let's get down and talk brass tacks.
Yeah, get down to the brass tacks. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get down to the orange nuts.
The orange nuts.
We need to sit down, get down, talk them orange nuts. What are we talking about today?
I'm talking about a fossil, but you can get it in a lot of metaphysical shops. It's called Ammonite.
Okay, hold on. I've started a new practice of Googling. Spell it for me and the people.
Okay, all you people. A-M-M-O-N-I-T-E. as in Macy.
Oh.
Onites.
Oh, I thought you
Ammonite.
were going to go with the bit.
No, I gotta save that. I gotta save that for a good long word.
Yeah, because Ammonites was not long enough. Okay, yeah, no, I know what we're talking about. Okay, it's the ribbed snail, as I like to call it.
Yeah, they could be real fucking pretty. I was looking at some of the like high end like specimens that you can get, and they're like opalized kind of, so they have like a sheen
Designer
to them, and like they'll put them on a big like disc holder, and it can just like stand and catch the light, and like every little chamber of its shell is a different color. It's beautiful. Like some of the crazy high quality ones are just like super duper pretty. They're almost like stained glass.
Whoa. That's definitely not the one I Googled. The one I Googled looks like dust rock.
A lot. So there's a big range there.
Okay.
Talk about it.
All right. I'm going to talk to you today about an herb, spikenard.
Spikenard?
Spikenard.
Nard.
Spikenard.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right.
And before we dive... No further elaboration. Before we dive in, do we have announcements? Do we have anything we need to talk about?
I don't think yet. Y'all.
Oh.
Yeah, just details are being finalized. We will be speaking more.
What do we know thus far? Can we do like that? Like, here's the details we have thus far.
We're coming at you, you fucking Northeasterners.
And which might we say the Northeast, I'm so sorry, does not include Canada or the Midwest.
No, it doesn't, guys.
You guys.
I appreciate the enthusiasm.
I appreciate the enthusiasm. Yeah.
We got to rip the Band-Aid off right now. No, it doesn't. We have something real pretty to show you guys here soon. This is just to say this is a little baby tour. It's baby's first tour. Okay.
Baby's first tour. That was the name we were going to go with, but
yeah. We went with the Jim and Jupe instead. And, anyway, so just keep your eyes peeled all the way open, just with peelers, just really peel them wide open. So everybody, so you know what's coming. And we'll have something designed by one of our very own fantastically creative beings here soon to show all of you. And you're just going to fucking shit because it's awesome.
All right. Well, so there's that little bit of news. I have nothing here on my end.
Yeah, I think we're good to go. Oh, you got shit?
Not really. I wanted to brag and also celebrate and congratulate you on the lunch on the launch of your Macy Yoga launch.
Thank you.
Macy and Ace Yoga off to a rockin' kick-ass start, dude.
It's going. I posted class 2 today. The first like actual philosophy blog or like podcast kind of little study session is going to be on Thursday. So that's coming out. It's going to be classes on Mondays, little yoga podcasts on Thursdays every single week.
Thursdays,
a little bonus
are a
something
good day
this
for
week,
learning.
probably. Yeah, learn on a Thursday, guys. Come study with me. I'll be there.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. And she'll talk like that the whole time. You want to plug your URL right here?
Sure, guys.
You got their ear, dude.
If you're interested, if you just want to come peruse, you can come on over to patreon.com/Macy Anise Yoga. It's there.
Check it out for that. For those, I don't know how many you can view without like just perusing, but definitely the profile pic. That little photo shoot you did with our great, esteemed gentleman and a scholar, photographer, graphic designer extraordinaire all around, Valeria. That was a sweet little photo shoot y'all did. You look
fruitful as hell, and like I don't even have them all yet. Like they're like it just like it's one of those, and I never usually feel this way about photo shoots, but it was oops all bangers. Every single fucking one of them was just fucking oops all bangers. Every picture,
oops all bangers. All right. Well, then I guess we should jump into the witchy podcast because that's what we are.
It's what we do.
That's what we do.
Yeah. And
did I tell you I was talking about spikenard?
You did. Do you go first?
I do not.
Okay,
because last time was phantom quartz and passion flower.
Okay.
And so you go first, Miss Passion Flower.
All right, I'll do it. All right, I'm going to talk to you about Ammonite today. Ammon water.
You loom so deep and wide. Oh,
I thought it every single time I saw, and it's not the same. That's Annan, but I was still just like Ammonite, Ammon water.
Ammon water. Love it.
So they are very widely known, perhaps like some of the most widely known fossils.
Deep and widely known.
Okay, I was like, why are you gasping? What?
Not for any real good reason. It's okay.
Oh my God.
Move along.
They are now extinct marine mollusks. They were called ammonites or sometimes ammonoids. And the fossils look like little nautilus shells. You know, they've got that beautiful little spiral to them. Oftentimes I've seen several that can just kind of like fit in the center of your palm. That seems to be a very common size for these, just maybe a little like inch and a quarter, you know, something like that, maybe like an inch and a half. Yeah, they're just like they're super pretty. And so the name Ammonite comes from the god Ammon. And they had like spiral ram horns, which resemble the shells. And this was initially, it seems to be an African deity that later was like Ethiopian and Libyan deity specifically, then was eventually just like worshipped all over Egypt and eventually parts of Greece. So that's where the name Ammonite comes from. So before we really knew what these things were, like we're talking a good ways back here, one of the explanations for what these weird little rocks
I can't wait. This is going to be weird, isn't it?
Was that they were coiled up snakes that had just been turned to stone. Which gave them the nickname snake stones. And like you can find some to where like especially like old ones that are like I guess in like museums and whatnot now, but like the very end of it, like the outer part of the spiral, like where it's done growing, they've carved into the shape of like a little snake head, you know, so it looks like it's like a little stone snake head. But they were never reptiles. They were ocean mollusks, and so they're cephalopods. So I'm like accidentally very soon again doing like another oceany cephalopody mollusky kind of situation. But these cats,
demigod could be a decapod.
These guys aren't as smart as an octopus.
Yeah, no, I did that last time, so I just feel like I had to do it this time.
I had to just, you know what it is? An encore. Yeah, everybody wanted it.
Yeah. I saw the emails.
So the group Cephalopoda is divided into 3 subgroups. Coleoids. I don't know I don't think I'm saying any of these words right.
All of these sound fake.
I know. And so in that group, you've got squids, octopuses, not octopi, and cuttlefish. Which apparently it's not just cuttlefish either. I figured you don't need the ES on fish because we've all generally agreed that that's plural and singular. Fish.
English sucks, dude.
Cuttlefishes. At nautiloids, which are your nautiluses, and ammonites. So
cute.
They don't really. So we don't know everything about these guys because, like, we don't really know. It's believed that they had more kind of like 8. Perhaps like 8 tentacles or 8 arms, similar to, you know, like an octopus would, not necessarily like all of the little kind of like weird little chin hair kind of like reachy ones that like a nautilus has. Gross. Like creepy. You know what a nautilus looks like? They look super strange. Like they're beautiful, but they have like the weird I don't know, mouth bits.
Okay, yeah. The weird mouth. I got it.
And so, but they don't really know because those haven't really been, there hasn't been a preserved sample of what those look like because those don't stand the test of time like shell, to where the shell is able to trap the sediment in which to help fossilization happen. Gooey tentacle bits don't preserve as well. So like they don't really know for sure. So ammonites were born with their tiny little shells. And they grew as they grew, and they would build new chambers onto the shell, and they only live in the biggest, newest outer chamber. So as the shell spirals, and maybe there's like 20 old little chambers that are all, spiraling towards the center, they don't even go there anymore. They're just sitting on like a little, little stoop, little end part, and they're just kind of chilling.
Creepy. They've just got like a bunch of empty rooms behind their butt.
Well, there's
That's
a purpose.
Scary.
There's a purpose for it. So,
I don't trust it, dude. It's too much like a closet door at night. It's just, something's in it. I don't like
somebody's hiding in there. So they seal off these chambers with these kind of like the walls, and the walls are known as septas. And so like segmenting the different little chambers in their shell are these septas, which are the vertical walls that turn them into little chambers. And really, most of what we know about these guys, where a lot of it is coming, of course, from the shells that have been found, which there are ammonite shells all over the place, like everywhere. There's so many of them. And so those are being studied, but also through other living cephalopods. So it's kind of like they're like, well, it probably, like these guys, would have similar, XYZ. Like they're kind of using the living examples. The nautilus is essentially a living fossil in its own right. Like it is ancient and it hasn't changed. And so you can get some information from that. That's another little shelled creature that has the Fibonacci sequence, the golden ratio shell, spiral shell. And so they can be like inferences. Yeah. That word feels wrong to me today.
Infrastructure.
I said it and I was like, that's not the right word. That sounds like for taxes. It just feels like the wrong word. But they can look at the living example and be like, well, but this probably went this way. And so that's kind of what a lot of it is kind of is just trying to zero in at what these things would have been like, because again, there are no fossils of what their tentacles would have been like. So we don't really know what was going on with that. So these guys first appeared 450 million years ago, way far back. And then around 200 million years ago in the Jurassic period, you have what I saw was a more exclusive group. This is kind of where your true ammonites started to develop. And so again, this was about 200 years ago in the Jurassic period. Some of these are getting a little bit bigger. They're starting to diversify. Apparently this is a species that evolved very quickly. So there was a lot of diversity going on. So they're kind of having a bit of a boom, it seems, in the Jurassic period. Yeah, they were, seriously. But then that big old asteroid just got their asses, man. Just killed them all.
Got their asses.
And I was like, how? Because they're in the ocean. And I was just like, I figured like they're probably going to be all right. But
yeah, how does that work? I have
these
no idea.
guys eat a lot of things that require algae to survive.
Oh.
And after the asteroid, all of that was super messed up. Like this, like photosynthesis wasn't able to occur properly. There was a ton of ash in the air that was completely clouding the atmosphere. The Earth wasn't able to function anymore, so they just essentially ran out of food. And it seems that these guys needed to be closer up to the surface than some of the other cephalopods and your creatures like the nautilus that could have been deeper and were able to survive in deeper waters, and therefore their prey wasn't quite as affected either in the deeper waters as these more shallow water type little ammonites that just en masse died out.
Do you think that as they floated to the bottom to become fossils, that they just passed the other ones that lived and they were like, nerds?
Yeah. I feel like they'd be a little bitter maybe because the other ones are living. and they're floating through.
I meant they were calling the dead ones.
Oh, I thought you meant the ones dying. We're looking at the ones that were succeeding at not dying and just like
nerds. That's better, dude. I like that better.
So 65 to 66 million years ago is when all these guys went extinct. Like that's when it all went south. And when it comes to how many species that there were of these waters are a little bit muddied. Because so here's the deal. So ammonites display sexual dimorphism. So the females and the males look pretty different from each other. Like there's very clear differences between the two. And so way back, when they would find ammonite fossils in the past that looked different from one that had already been found, they were almost always recorded as new species instead of being considered if they were the microconch, the male, or the macroconch, the female, of an existing species. So they were finding one that looked new and funky, and it very well could have just been the male or the female of an existing species that hadn't been discovered yet, but they were just marking them all as new species. So that kind of from the get-go confused things a little bit.
Can my DJ name be Microconch?
Microconch. And so it's spelled like micro-conch, but I always hear people call conch shells, which is how I always thought they were called conchs. So yeah, it's a conch, right?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Conch, right? I'm going to conch you.
I always feel my brain, it's like how it's forever and always for me going to be Apanya the horse, you know? And so it's like, I think of conch because when I first read the word, I was like, conch shell. And then I remember like hearing it called a conch and I was like, what?
Well, didn't they call it a conch on the Magic Conch episode, the SpongeBob? Or did they say conch? I feel like they said conch.
They called it a conch. I don't know.
Huh.
Y'all, ocean people, tell me, people who live at the water.
Ocean people.
Ocean man. Tell me, is it conch?
Take us by the hand. Make us understand.
Truly, because...
Yeah.
Like conch, I feel like I like more, but conch is more fun.
Well, conch just sounds kind of dumb,
it's
too.
Conch, you know.
Conch.
Yeah.
Nah. All right.
So it's believed there's about 10,000 species of these ammonites that were alive at one point. And but I also saw a number that was upwards of 20,000. So like, again, there's some mud there kind of, confusing things a little bit.
Mud.
Yeah. And so the size would range from just like teeny tiny, like a few millimeters in size, to where, in the Jurassic period, like I said, starting about 200 million years ago is when they had some time to evolve and they were getting big. And some of these guys, the largest known discovered found specimen was an ammonite. The species was, oh my word, Parapuzosia sependradensis. It really just keeps going. And this was from the late Cretaceous period. So this thing was 1.8 meters in diameter. And so that was also incomplete. If it would have been its full size, like they could tell some chambers were broken off, it would have been 2.5 to 3.5 meters or around 8 to 11 feet away. Really large.
Wow.
Big.
That's bigger than me.
Big, large. And so this is, that was from the Natural History Museum, again, from the UK. So the shell is not only, it's a little house that it hauls around everywhere, but like the modern nautilus, it uses it to move. So the septa, the walls of the chambers, are like penetrated by this, you're going to love this word, the ammonite's siphuncle.
One more time.
The siphuncle.
Great.
Yeah.
Love that.
So it's got this thing called a siphuncle. And
say no more.
It's like a tube thingy, and it seemingly runs through the chambers, and it allows the ammonite to be able to control the air pressure inside their shells, meaning that they can control their buoyancy. They can float up or down. So they have the ability to be like, oh, I'm gonna put on up closer to the surface, and they'll just puff some air, I guess, into their shell, and then they'll float on up all clumsy. And I mean, they're all dead, but this is, I guess, what they would do.
Oh, well.
It's what a nautilus
Now they're
does.
all dead. I feel bad kind of giggling that they just fart in their shell to move around.
That is it. See, my unscientific mind was like, so they're just like farting. They're just farting up their shells and like just floating on up. I mean, I respect it.
They're running on natural gas.
Yeah. I'm good for them. I don't really understand how it works, because everything that I read was like they changed the air pressure, and I'm like, but how? What do you mean they just changed the air pressure? I think I just assume it just
go, oh yeah,
puffs out a little air in there, and it's just like, and then they just float on up. I think that's what's going on.
Oh no. What an awful thing. You couldn't even hide it. Can you imagine tooting? And just tooting, and you just lift off the seat for a little bit? Everyone would know.
I guess. But everybody else be farting too.
I mean, yeah, but like, what if you did it at a really bad time?
Well, like you're having like a really meaningful conversation, and then you just float up away from it on accident.
Yeah.
It's like your one chance with your crush, and then you just get the nervous toots and you float away to the surface.
You let one go, you just kind of fly off. Oh, I would never come back.
Being an Ammonite, man, it's difficult. So, how do they make fossils? Why are there so many fossils? So, basically, they all died off en masse, and their shells became embedded in like silt at the bottom of the ocean. And the shell was hard enough to protect the structure, the shape, from damage. And over time, due to just like layers and layers of sediment piling on top, there's pressure piling onto the shell, and this water that's rich with all these minerals would seep through the shell, all the way permeating through all of the chambers, and eventually over a very, very long time crystallizes into fossil, which is like what we see today, this crystal-like, sometimes very beautiful, multicolored crystal almost that we see today in some of these ammonite specimens. Fossils they blow my mind. They are wild to me. That can happen.
I just don't know how things last that long. Like, I don't know how a fossil lasts that long. And nobody explained it to me, goddammit. Like, yeah, I get it, but like, how can a fossil last that long? But
millions and millions and millions and millions, of years. Just so many millions of years.
So long. When like, you know, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a good example. Just everything else just falls to shit.
I mean, I feel like even normal rocks don't last as long as fossils seem to last.
Huh. I mean, it makes sense. I feel stupider the more that I say it. But
no, I know what you mean. It's like wild to me. Like it's times like this when I'm like, I don't know anything about any of this, like about
it's not real.
Paleontology and fossils and anything. It's just like, it does always make me think of
Ross Geller.
Was it? Oh God, no.
Oh
God, no. I forget that he's a paleontologist. It's weird. I think that it's good omens when they're it is good omens when they're just like the dinosaurs were just a joke created, by God that the humans haven't seen yet. They haven't like understood the punchline of yet. And it's just like I buy
it.
It's funny, it's just like, what is going on here? How are these things real? Is this a hoax? Is this a simulation? Are we real? Is any of this real?
Macy, I don't know if I've ever heard you sound more country than when you said hoax.
I was trying to dig into my my seedy radio gritty radio.
Brother, that broke.
Yeah.
I actually needed to rub my eyeballs for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, okay, go on.
Yeah, that was my any kind of gritty voice that you hear going into any of the country gas stations around here, and it's screaming about liberty. That was who I was channeling for all of you.
Liberty.
So you can get...
Frankly, not the worst thing you could hear yelled at a gas station around here.
No. Oh, yeah.
No.
Oh, wow. You know, if I sat and thought about it for a minute, I'd probably be able to think of all kinds of interesting things that I've heard yelled at a gas station around here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I still routinely think of the gas station up by your house. One of the reviews said something about they were running a gas generator inside the building.
I believe that.
And I just think about that sometimes.
I think about that woman who knew that we were flying out at like 3 a.m. for Hunter and me to go on our honeymoon, and she just proceeded to tell me how terrible all of her marriages were, and that marriage is terrible.
Yeah.
And she followed me all over the place.
She did.
Like,
I feel like I scooted out of, I got away from that conversation somehow, but she really, man, she latched onto you and would not leave you alone. I feel like you were practically sprinting up and down the aisles, and she was running behind you.
Right there, man.
She had to get that out. What did she say about she said he wasn't a piss alligator? What'd she call it?
Oh my God.
There was something about a piss gator. Something like that. Am I onto something here?
I remember something. I do remember her having a very wild contribution to us, you know, that we were like, what? But I don't remember what it was, because it was 3 a.m. and I was already having a panic attack about having to fly in about an hour and a half. So you can get some pretty special looking ammonites. Some look, you know, like they've got the rainbow sheen, you know, kind of like that oil slick sheen, you know, that's like all the colors. They can be opalized, they can be pyritized, like pyrite. And you can polish them on up, and some of these can be gem quality specimens, and they are so pretty. Some of them can have a whole bunch of different colors because of like different mineral deposits that wound up in each like chamber, and they're just so pretty. And like with a lot of spiral shells, as well as many other structures all throughout nature, you have the golden ratio, also called the Fibonacci sequence. It's seen in ammonites too. And this is really sacred geometry. It's a physical structure displaying this harmony and just excellent craftsmanship of nature. And it's kind of like this balance of it never ends, because the Fibonacci sequence is kind of an infinite thing. It can just keep growing and growing, but it's always coming full circle in a way, in its spiral shape. And so it's just both eternal and also harmoniously coming back and back and back again. So it's just a very interesting concept. And the golden ratio has really fascinated humanity forever, like forever, man. And it has been revered and seen as something important, you know, whether it be sacred or just beautiful, for at least like 4,000 years, at least. And this makes a lot of sense, right? Because it's seen all across nature, you know, from plants to millipedes to the stars, like to the shapes of galaxies. It's everywhere. And nature is really clever and it's really efficient. And we used to pay a lot more attention to it for inspiration and ideas. And so it's not really surprising that long ago, we noticed it. We noticed this sequence. We noticed this structure and revered it as being something important. And, you know, it's a harmonious structure. It is mathematically harmonious. And that's kind of the word here. And that's a very big metaphysical aspect to ammonite. So from forming just the inconceivable size of galaxies to these tiny little fossils, this ratio shows up over and over and over again, and basically kind of is just like a code that nature has it all figured out. It's a language, you know. It's like we can almost communicate with nature when we see it, because it's just written right there. It's just an excellent form of creation. And we have this piece of nature in these ammonites that has this, spiritual geometry, this harmonic perfection, like radiating from it, and just like this perfect shape. Like if you have one on a chain, or if you have one that's like a little palm stone, or you have one on your desk, it's just like you could get prints and whatnot of like different like forms of sacred geometry and whatnot. Like this is essentially one of those things. This is it, like beholding sacred geometry and looking at this golden ratio and this harmonic balance that is coming from it is just very metaphysical, as well as just mathematical. The energy permeates it, because it's believed that the shape also just helps with the the travel of energy, the flow of energy. It just keeps flowing and it flows outward. So it's just, it can be a really handy thing to have if you're wanting to bring harmony to a space, because this is a harmonious shape. It's very balanced. It's very structurally sound. And that just really brings that element of harmony, into it, whether it's your space or your person or your workspace, just kind of infusing the space with that energy from it.
Get a tattoo.
Yeah, just get it right on there. Slap it on there.
Yeah.
And nowadays, especially I would say like within the last like 5-ish years, and this is not a new term, but it has become much more commonly used, the spiral has almost become kind of a negative thing, because it's like to spiral, and like that can be a stressful time if you are sent into a spiral, or if you are spiraling. And because generally that means like you're losing control, like there's a loss of control going on with spiraling. And I feel like with this shape, with Ammonite, we're seeing the spiral in a different way, a spiral that is, the sense of control and balance. And each section grows in perfect harmony with the whole. And so when you look at the golden ratio, like as a spiral, especially out in nature, each section growing in perfect harmony, like with the whole. So I was thinking about this today, like that maybe this could be a useful talisman to have, to like bring comfort and control during, maybe if you kind of just you've just heard something or seen something that might be the thing to start kind of sending you into a bit of a spiral, like I was just like, what if you have like this little thing that's like your counter spiral, it's like it's the opposite. Like instead of spiraling out of control, you have something that is a spiral that is in complete control and a harmonic and mathematical balance. And I don't know. I was just something about it when I was taking these notes. I was like, something about that feels like that could be kind of neat. Like that could be very symbolic, but also like you're combating out of control energy with very balanced control energy. And maybe you'll just net out. I don't know.
Where's my spiraling spiral?
Yeah, you gotta hit your spiral with spiral.
Find it.
Yeah. And I don't know. Just came into my head. Might not work. Might be bullshit. But I give it to you. To do with what you wish. Also, I've been realizing, I keep saying harmonic. I think it's harmonic. And I think I say both. I was like, harmonic? I think I say both. Because I know that I've said harmonic before. I don't know.
Listen, I don't know.
Dude, I can really tell
that
skip
Mercury...
it all
and just say harmonious.
I can tell that Mercury is big time in retrograde, because words are not hitting me right today. Like they're all weird. Like the same thing with like inference. It was just like nothing sounds right. It's all weird. Words are weird right now.
We need to start putting pre-record a little disclaimer when we're recording under the effects of Mercury in retrograde and or its shadow, and just a quick little blurb just up at the front. Just be like, hey, look, y'all, if we mispronounce some shit, y'all know why.
It's serious. Like I feel like I'm struggling with it today. So let's talk about the past here. a little bit, because this is a fossil after all. And to hold an ammonite is to be holding a fossil of something that died like 65 million years ago.
That's what trips me out, I think, the most about fossils.
Crazy. I know. I know. And that's just a wild thing. And so when you have this ammonite, it perhaps can aid in looking into the past so that we can move forward. So with the ammonite, the golden ratio is spiraling outward. It's growing forward and outward and larger and expanding. But on our hands, we're holding the past. So if you're wanting to maybe grow forward from the past, but you want to do so not just like spackling over the past and not confronting it, ammonite be useful to help you process and forgive the past so that when you do close the chapter on it and move on, it's sealed, it's done, it's processed, and it's in its box, and you've moved out of that chamber and it no longer serves anymore. Because living in memory sometimes can hinder forward growth. It can make it a good bit harder.
Hinder.
And pretty.
Ooh.
Honey, why you calling me so late? I hate it.
No.
I hate it a
So
lot.
gross.
Hinder. That's
Hinder.
right. That was their name.
Ah, they chose that.
Wow. Anyway, I got to recover. I got to put all of my brain back together from that.
I feel like you really blasted into another space.
I did. I was rattled. I was rattled by that. You know, they played in Tyler. I remember they played in Tyler in like 2014, and I didn't go. Can you believe
Why not?
it?
That could have, Jesus, Mace, that could have been a great time.
I bet. You know what? I bet it was. So,
although I feel like I did just attend a concert just now with you, and that rendition was beautiful.
It came through me. Yeah, channeled it for you, for all of you. You're welcome. So if you're trapped in memory and you feel like you can't move forward, you're needing to kind of just be able to let this go. Maybe it's plaguing your spiritual progress forward. You're just having a hard time laying memories, kind of just putting them to bed in the form of memory to where they're not something that you're stewing on a lot or regretting a lot or things like that. And what I love about the ammonite is that with them growing in chambers, they close off each one with the wall, the septa, and they move forward into the new chamber. And there's not really a way to go back into the other chambers. Like it not only is it sealed off, they can't fit in there anymore. They've outgrown it. They don't belong there anymore. And it's made it impossible for itself. So the ammonite uses the whole of its outgrown shell for the purpose of movement. So it takes this whole past attached to its back and it uses the past to move up and down, but it's still using it to move. So it's using all of those things that it really has outgrown and that don't suit it the same. They still use it as experience, as something for them, a tangible way to move, but in more of like a metaphorical way, it is utilizing all of that shell that we have made in our time alive. And instead of being a bit harsh towards, like overly harsh towards parts of it to where you feel that, you wish you would have done something a different way or things like that. It is being able to process it, be like, look, have I learned? Yes. Would I do that again ever? No. And, did I grow from that and learn, to be sure? Yes. And with a lot of that, knowing that it takes us an element of forgiveness, knowing if you grew, if you'd never do it again, and of course it's not like fucking murder, if you're just you just knifed somebody in the neck, you're just well,
I've learned from that.
I'm never going to do it again. But there's moments that I remember to where I was probably my most emotionally upset and my worst years were 19 and 20. And I just remember things that I did that I never, ever would do, ever would do. But I was just in such a my whole life was changing. Everything was just kind of upside down. And I just have to know that I've grown from it. I learned from those years. If I just think back on them for too long, I just kind of like cringe myself inside out. And I'm just like, God, what was wrong with you? But it's like, that's not really, that's just beating up the past. And since time isn't linear, that's just still kind of beating up yourself. And I just think it's good.
I think about that a lot, dude.
Yeah.
I think about that a lot, especially in like I know we've talked about this a lot, but like in the inner child kind of way, because sometimes I'll be just like absolutely going in on myself in my head, and then I'll stop and I'll be like, you have to remind yourself, it's like, do you know who you're talking to right now?
Yeah.
It's like, and you kind of have to take, and I think about that a lot, and it bums me out so bad.
I know. What if it's like every single time when you're a kid, you suddenly get hit with like a feeling of just
I know.
Somebody's disappointed in you for no reason, and it's because it's us.
It's
and
you.
Like, oh, you dumbass shit kid, man. No, yeah.
I hate that.
So we got to be careful. And that's not to say that we don't need to process. Processing is important, but there's processing and then there's just marinating, and memories that might hold us back, such as memories perhaps where we weren't the best people making the best versions of ourselves, our best decisions, what have you. And we need to be able to look at that memory as a different chamber. It's a place that hopefully you've grown away from. And if you have, then there needs to be the room for forgiveness there for yourself. And if you've grown from that chamber, you've learned. And that also means if you've grown from that chamber, there's no real going back to it. You don't need to keep returning to the chamber because you don't fit in there anymore. Like you've outgrown it. There's not a place for you there. And I just think there's a lot of beautiful symbolism with that, because sometimes it can just really like past actions or regrets, even things like that can just be really, even happy memories sometimes can be like, nostalgia can be toxic to an extent.
Sure.
And so it's just like, sometimes it is just, I feel like with Ammonite, it's something from the past that says like, it's okay to remember, but it's also most important to go forward. Like memories are there for us. We learn from them. We utilize them to build our big shell and we rise up and down with it. And that's how we travel and move and learn and grow. But like, try not to let memory ruin your spiritual growth. Memories can be a sticky trap sometimes. And with this long tie to the past, there's also ties here for past life regression. So think about this. Like, this is a fossil that is formed far beyond like when our bipedal asses were even clomping all over the place. Like, so Ammonite, technically, it can be used to connect to, all kinds of ancient energies. Like, old stuff, from the ancient world where animals roamed that we can't even begin to fathom. Again, if time's not linear, who's to say that we can't do dinosaur magic? Because I think that we can.
Whoa. If
we wanted to. And I just think that you could use Ammonite as well. I think if we're talking for like the spirit element, I feel like Ammonite can be such an excellent tool for working with the spirit element. Not only is it already a spiral, if you utilize the spiral symbol of the spirit element, if you go for that, but like, and it is earthy, it is sediment, sure, but it is like, it's this ancient thing. And in its existence, all of our ancestors have been born and died. Like it predates us. So it's like that Ammonite that you're holding was there before even any of our furthest ancestors existed. And so it's just like, how does that not help? Like, I just feel like if you have something that's so much time is contained in its existence, and it was a living thing at one point, because that's the difference between it and like a quartz that has been around forever. At one point, this is the shell of something that was alive. It was animated. So there is a spark of creation, like life in it. That's just wild to me how old this thing is. And so I'm just like, absolutely, I feel like this thing is a telephone call. Like it's a phone for spirit, like it's just very, very interesting to me.
Do you ever think about like, sometimes I think about this when I see and now it's not really the same thing, but when you see the fossilized remains or in some way the remains of a human being that has been like, I think, you know, like the Pompeii, like, you know, when you see shit like that, like of people, I always think about like, dude, what if that happened to me? Because you always see these like beautiful examples, like the couple that appeared to be like embracing, like right before they got their shit kicked, and then or like the one that's like holding something that's like was beautiful to them or whatever, right? Like I'm like, what if it's me on my toilet or something? Like what if just 1,000 years from now they find you? And you'll never know. And it freaks me out.
See, I think it's kind of fun.
Am I going to be a jester forever?
I like to think that they'd find me something. They'd find me in a weird position.
You're like doing yoga when it happens?
I want them to have to figure this out. I want them to have to be like, what? Okay, no, we're going to have to call some people in here. We're going to have to actually, I don't understand what we're looking at here. Like, I would be okay with that. Like a whole scene.
Like her legs are behind her head, but she clearly is like holding an ancient tool, like a bowl of cold oatmeal or something. Like you just have to figure it out.
Ammonite is also here to bring the structure, because at its root is like the best structure of all time. You know, again, we've got that golden race, right? And it provides a map for expansion. But you can't expand without a supportive foundation. You know, you don't want to build a house on sand. Like you have to have a foundation. You have to set it up properly. And if you want to expand and grow, it's important that we have room and like for structure so that we don't fall apart or burn out. And Ammonite shows how structure does not have to put a damper on growth. In fact, it can help it. You know, like just a little bit of structure can go a long way, and it can help set you up for continued expansion with room to grow, because as we expand, the structure needs to also, because it'll help keep us afloat. Like, for example, like right now with Macy and East Yoga, it's launched, but it's really changed my schedule a lot, because now what needs to get created every week, like I've changed, and now I have certain days and mornings that do this, and this needs to be edited by then, and this needs to be up then, and just like shit like that, I tightened it up. Everything needed to be tightened up because there's more to do. And I had to add this in order to support this change, this forward growth, because if it was just the growth and me not building the structure to support it, this growth really wouldn't have a leg to stand on, because I wouldn't be able to keep up with the required timelines and getting everything done. It's just kind of what we need to do. And it's nothing to like lament, you know, which I'm really good at doing as like a deep fucking cut Aquarius that I give structure the side eye, man. Like routine, I like structure sometimes I'm like, I don't know about it.
Don't know what to do.
It has been helping me. I've been enjoying it. I got another planner. I'm trying again. But this one actually...
Did I write you the other day if you wanted a planner?
I don't remember you doing.
Or was that a dream?
I don't think you did that.
I think I had it, just you now bringing this up, talking about planners. I dreamed that I just like wrote you and I was like, hey, do you need a planner? And that was it.
I went to Barnes and Noble, and they had the little setup there, and it was all the little planners, and I just looked at it and I was like, fuck. So I went over there.
God damn it.
And I started looking at them, and I really like mine. It's got a bunch of fun dates in it. Like, you know, instead of having like real dates, like fucking, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a holiday, you know, just like
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it was like Dolly Parton's birthday is in there, which I believe is January 19th. And like
making her an Aquarius?
I think she's an Aquarius. Yeah.
I'm looking
unless it's a Capricorn Aquarius cusp, because like I know I'm near that. National Sticker Day was one that was in there. It was like all of the dates.
Okay, I get it. So it's like cute little holidays and not like Grandparents' Day. She's a Capricorn.
She's a Cap, which makes sense because she is savvy as hell. Yeah, so no, I've been really enjoying it. It's got big squares, so I can like really, but it's not like one of the big planners. It's just laid out right. So I've actually got room for my crazy handwriting to fit anywhere. And I enjoyed it. I sat down last night and I like wrote all my, you know, stuffed out for the next 2 weeks. And I was like, we'll see if I look at you ever again.
Ever again. Yes. Yes. I'm proud of you.
And speaking of, Ammonite can be good for business ventures, again, because it's got that growth, that outward expansion, as well as longevity, because again, this thing died 65 million years ago. It's really standing the test of time. I mean, it's dead, but like, we're still looking at it, you know? In the home, Ammonite can help bring harmony, as I think I mentioned earlier, just a good energy flower into the home, of just moving, keeping the energy from getting stagnant. Its very shape is a flow. And Ammonite is tied to the awakening of energy, the movement of energy. Therefore, I did see in several places that it can be utilized in Kundalini awakening.
I was wondering.
Be careful with those. Don't just take a stab at that willy-nilly. That can be real serious. I actually know someone who had a seizure due to a Kundalini awakening. Like, that stuff can be really intense. It can be uncomfortable.
Be careful.
Sometimes you flat can't stop it. Let me tell you a story, dude. So okay, first of all, I got some oil potions from Moonlight's Apothecary. So you already know that you're like in for it.
You're ready to, you're in for it. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I got the Cobra oil. I got the Cobra oil, the Evil Eye oil, and a couple of other ones, but it's like those were the two players in this story, right? And I don't really know what was so different. I put oils on and I'd like do a blend of, I have a whole bunch of different ones, but every night before bed, because I'm kind of like, what vibe do I want to send off into bed with? Like dreamland, and I'll kind of craft the scent to kind of prepare for that. And so this night I used the Cobra and the Evil Eye. And with the Cobra, I kind of drew a little snaky rise all the way up my torso because I was feeling flashy, and I was just draw a snake, coming on up.
Sure.
And I did the Evil Eye oil on my wrists and on my forehead. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to start going to bed, I'm just going to go to sleep now. And
I feel like you've made a mistake somehow.
I didn't, but this was just one of the weirdest sensations. And so I was just lying down. I was trying to go to sleep and I started feeling like this kind of rising type feeling, but it felt like, dude, it felt like abrasive scales. It was weird and it was just kind of slow. It was slow. And then I was like, is this my Kundalini? And I was in bed and I was awake now and I was feeling it. And because sometimes I've had these stirrings at you start feeling it and I'll be like, not right now, let's not get into this right now. I'm going to shut this down. And so I kind of was trying to do that and it wasn't working. And I could keep feeling it climbing up my body into my up into my torso, and I was
this is gonna happen,
kind of freaking out a little bit. I was like, if this reaches my head, do I die? I don't actually know, because it's very strange and it was very slow. And dude, I felt it work.
It reaches my head, do I don't know. Die?
And so it was I could feel it. It was real slow, and it was just the kind of scratchy, cold, scaly feeling, but it wasn't cold. And it just I felt it cross my chest and because I remember putting a kind of a little a mind thing of being this is probably high enough for now. Let's stop. And it didn't. It kept scooting on. And I felt it move up through my throat and it felt really gross. And at this time, I'm letting it happen because obviously nothing can stop whatever this is. And I shit you not, when it reached my brain stem, I guess, I don't know, I had
you died.
The craziest, because it was about throat height, I was already getting the full body tinglies, it was shit was already okay, this is intense. And it reached my brain, and I'm not joking, and it sounds so cheesy retelling it, but in the moment it was so intense. And it was I had my eyes shut and all of my vision just exploded with white, behind my eyes, and all of this gold and shit. And it was just this angelic whisper that was just you are everything. And then it stopped. and it all went away. I didn't have the sensation anymore. And then
Did you piss?
I was just lying there, and I was just like, do I just go to bed now? Like, what?
Do I just wrap up in my Target sheets and go to bed?
What? It was so wild, dude. Like, and I wasn't even working toward it. It just happened, but then it did. It was like once that big explosive message happened, it was just like, shoom. Like, in Lion King, when Circle of Life ends and it just boom ends to like that. Yeah. That's what it was like. It was very intense. And I think the whole thing lasted like 3 minutes.
Listen, to be a fly on the wall, to not know what was going on, but just to witness you sitting there shaking and sweating.
It was very weird. So I wanted to close with some of my favorite advice I've ever seen on just like a random crystal site, because it just, when they cure your ails, they just totally fix you. This one, Charlye, this stone releases you of your mental obsessions. They're gone. So there you go. Just tape it to your forehead, and they're gone.
Cancel my therapy sessions with no CD now. I can just use this stone.
Yeah, just great. Get some painter's tape, and just like tape it across your forehead. Cured. Fixed.
Eliminates stress.
But that's it. That's Ammonite for you. That's what I have for you today about that.
I'm shook to the ground. I don't know what to say about anything right now. Well, thank you for that. Good God.
Yeah.
I kind of just want to end the episode right now. I don't know if I can go on a Spikenard and feel good about it.
Spikenard.
Okay, Macy, I would like to talk to you about Spikenard.
I want to hear. Listen, I know that you're doubting your top a little bit, but like I want to hear it.
It's a good top. It's a good top. And here, I also reached out to a great friend of ours, Liz, who is not only proficient with herbs and herbalism, but is also medically based in her, love and knowledge of herbs. So I got a little bit coming from her today about Spikenard. So here we go. Spikenard. Nardostaceous Jadamanzi.
That is my next like D&D character name.
Brother, when I tell you that this is my favorite, like I guess scientific name that we have ever done. Nardostaceous Jadamanzi.
Nardostaceous is fabulous. That is good.
Listen here, I hope I'm absolutely sure I'm not doing injustice. I know that. But tell me, okay, Nardostaceous. That's Nardostaceous if I've ever seen it.
I don't give a shit what it is. It's Nardostaceous.
Okay, so there it is.
Yeah.
Nardostaceous Jadamanzi Spikenard, a.k.a. Inula Corsia, I believe is what it's called sometimes when it is in its oil form. Sometimes it's sold under that name. Sometimes it's just called nard, nardin, and muskroot.
Oh, wow.
So spikenard is native to parts of India and China, appearing both in TCM and Ayurveda Vedic medicine. Excuse me. That's the one that gets me every time. And spikenard is critically endangered.
Great.
So I kind of wanted to approach this from a studious standpoint, as well as also like if you've got like a half-used bottle of it, use it up. No use throwing it out, right? But truthfully, try not to purchase this. There are so many like, the kind of like MLME essential oil brands out there. You know what I'm talking about, right? So many that sell spikenard oil or spikenard oil under one of its previous names, without any kind of like warning or anything
about its endangered.
about its, yeah. And I'm just like, how? But the reason that it has become so critically endangered is its native areas have become polluted or otherwise inhabitable for it to live in, as well as people just taking so much of it for commercial purposes. So generally just humans being humans and ruining everything in general. But
we're good at that.
Well, yeah, man. This is a part of it's of the valerian family. So it has that signature, we'll call it, woody scent, right? So much like vetiver, which is a good stand-in for spikenard. So say you do have that bottle of spikenard, you love it, you use it a lot, but you don't want to continue to contribute to its endangered status. Vetiver is a good stand-in. And it has similar properties and a similar smell. But as for the smell, it does have that like valerian root / myrrh thing going on where you might love it, you might hate it, but either way, it's strong as hell.
Yum.
And anytime a root or an herb or anything is described as smelling woody, earthy, I'm just like, oh, it smells like rot. Just say it. Just say the quiet part.
No, it doesn't smell like. I mean, sometimes it does, and that smells good too.
Yeah, but you're into that, right?
I'm into anything that's out. It can smell like wet dirt. It can smell like kind of rotting dirt. It can.
Yep, it does.
I like a stinky earthy
feet.
smell.
Stinky, cheesy feet. Yeah. I'm speaking specifically about valerian here, but I have some history for you about the spike of the nard, and the first one is just straight from Wikipedia. You know, sometimes they just have it so great, and this is actually from. We have a little talk of Pliny here, of course. No snakes this time. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but Pliny's Natural History lists several species of nardus used in making perfume and spice wine. We've got, here's what Pliny has listed. Indian nard, a stinking nard called oceanidois, I think. But I loved it that they phrased it a stinking nard.
Okay, that sounds like a good insult.
Used.
You stinking
you're
nard.
A stinking nard. But he goes out of his way to not only call it stinking, but talk about how it's just absolutely useless and serves no purpose. Then there's a false nard, or a pseudo nard, which is with which true nard is adulterated. Oh. And there's also several other herbs going by the name of ard that were used throughout the Mediterranean region. So spikenard, as that said, was used to flavor wines, especially in ancient Rome, but on a more widespread, like just through time and history and region, it was used for anointing. And I am just saying was here because hopefully, not a lot of that is used very much anymore outside of like folk medicines and stuff like that. It seems like there has been a big shift to things like vetiver and lavender, which we'll get to in a minute, but it was used for anointing depending on the time and location that we're talking about. Spikenard was used as a topical healing ointment because of the properties within it. It does help to help with little skin lesions or acne or things like that. But mostly it was used to honor people who were revered as very important. And it's found in the Bible, of which I would like to read a little bit of to you right now. Macy, you ready? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, I don't want to shit on anyone or
I thought you were already starting. And I was like, I don't think that's in there.
Yeah. This is John 12:13. I don't want to shit. Listen, I don't want to shit on anyone's religion. I'm just saying sometimes the Bible is free. And yes, I know language evolves over time. And so it's not always, when it was written, it didn't sound this silly. I know. But God damn it, Bible, sometimes it just sounds like a drunk text. But here, this is John 12:3, and this is the King James Version. Then took Mary a pound of ointment of spikenard, very costly, and anointed the feet of Jesus, and wiped his feet with her hair, and the house was filled with the odor of the ointment.
I love the fact that somebody really wanted to specify very costly.
Hold on. I got okay. I've got Mark 14:3 here, also King James. And being in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, as he sat at meat, there came a woman having an alabaster box of ointment of spikenard, very precious, and she brake the box and poured it on his head.
Wow.
Why did Trump write these?
Exactly.
I had to do both of those. I was really just gonna do one quote from the Bible just to be like, hey, look, this is in the Bible. I'm citing my reference here, but like they both had to go out of their way to talk. Very costly, very precious.
And then they had the spikenard, and they opened it up, and then they all smelled it. And you know what they said?
They said
it's very precious.
Very precious. This is the most precious, more precious than lavender. More precious than
very expensive. You know who's got more spikenard than me? I tell you, nobody.
All right, I want to move into some mundane / medical. Now, you guys know that I'm hesitant to say medical anything really about herbs because always speak to your doctor, particularly if you are wanting to use herbs in a medicinal sense, because they need to know if it's going to interact with anything that you're on. You know what I mean? I mean, something as simple as I used to pop St. John's wort all the time, right? Because my mom just had a big bottle of it. And I was just like, all vitamins and herbs are good. And I would just shovel shit down, not knowing that it could just completely fuck with like birth control. You know what I mean?
Great.
Or like sometimes I think St. John's wort also affects like antibiotic. I don't know. Don't quote me here with these things, but don't just fall into the trap of like herbs are safe and natural.
Some of them can kill you dead so fast.
Oh, big time, big dead. I wanna read here what I got from our dear friend Liz. And I just said, hey, I'm talking about spikenard today. Anything off the top of the dome that you want known? And Liz said, diabetics be extra aware since it can induce changes in the pancreas. And with all herbs, make sure that you talk to your doctor. Be sure that you stop taking them a few days before lab work if it's part of your daily routine. Just lots of good information here. Like I would have never thought to stop taking herbal supplements before lab work, you know? Also, she said that looks like it could be beneficial if you're eating lots of fatty or greasy foods because it can help support the liver and the pancreas. So that is directly from her. And then she sent me some links to some like very sciencey, medically type papers, to which I want to tell you, Jatamanzi, which is like for some reason how they refer to it in a lot of these more medical texts. I wasn't expecting to see spikenard necessarily because that's silly, but I thought it would be maybe more of the like the nardostaceus. I don't know why they're just using the second part. I don't know anything truly, but where was I on my notes? Jatamanzi has traditionally been recommended as a sedative and a de-stressing agent. Now, apparently they have, and I know, excuse me, I know a lot of people aren't for this and we won't get into this, but I'm just reporting to you as I see that when they were using this, when they were studying this effects on mice, they noticed that the mice that were given this oil, as it was here, it wasn't like the herb or anything, it was the oil of the root, to be more specific, that the rodents that were given it were, they had reduced locomotive skills and increased rest time. So they say that is indicative of sedation. Also, the roots, once again, if orally ingested, appear to have anti-inflammatory properties. And we kind of knew that already because of its use of like topically on the skin. Also, the oral ingestion of the roots, specifically the roots, they have been shown to have an anti-inflammatory property. And also applied topically, there is anti-inflammatory properties as well, again, with that acne and shit like that. But something here, if you do apply it topically, it is noted that your hair could regrow up to like 30% faster than in control, like the control, like not jadamanzied. You know what I mean? So it can be a good little hair regrowth thing. Now, I didn't see anywhere. I kind of read a little bit here in this little blurb they had about regrowing hair. I didn't really see if it was like could help you if you were in the process of balding, because I don't really know what goes into that. You know what I mean? I don't know. It like once it stops making hair, can it ever start again? I don't know. But if it applied to healthy hair follicles and roots and whatnot, it increased the hair growth rates in mice. So take that for, what you will. But so this all lends some credence to when people talk about the relaxation effect that this oil has, and it being, now I saw this in several locations, people were almost angry that this is not held as in high of a regard as lavender is. Because what's the number one goddamn oil when you're talking about helping sleep or helping relaxation? It's fucking lavender. And people out there are mad. They want spikenard to have its moment in the sun for being relaxation inducing, to fight insomnia, and to help generally any kind of sleep thing. So like bad dreams, if you're wanting to induce good dreams, more restful sleep, shit like that. So hashtag give spikenard its due. I don't know. I'm not good at hashtags. Hashtag mustachio. Wait, what's it called? Nardostachius justice. I don't know. Figure it out.
Nardostachius.
I want to move into the metaphysical of spikenard. Now, as discussed just 5 seconds ago, if you remember, the calming and relaxation properties are plentiful here, so feel free to use it in dream work and sleep work and things like that. However, outside of this, and this kind of came out of fucking nowhere to me, because after reading all of these, like, all the stuff about it through history and all the stuff about it medically, I get to the metaphys part of it, and it just jumps in with marriage, love spells. It brings marriage proposals. It ensures that your marriage proposal will be accepted.
You're just swimming in marriage proposals.
It makes them commit.
Wow, lock it down.
That was really strange to me to see, because a lot of the times, bro, when we do these, there's a huge tie-in. So I guess going on what we know about this, like the history of this, I was expecting to see it be very holy, have like very holy uses, because this was used as anointing. It was used on, the feet of Jesus, and throughout many religions, it's been used to like only the like most popular of the most popular people got to do this. Only the most holy of the most holy people got to do this. So I thought that would carry through, but not really. It's like everything I saw, it was just like love spells. It makes you close to people. And as they say on Hearth Wisdom, and I'm taking this from hearthwisdom.com, it encourages faithfulness, because, you got to encourage someone to be faithful.
We've learned that from a lot of history, like folk magic history. You just got to keep them in the house.
Keep them hooked. They won't do it on their own. You must encourage faithfulness and deepens commitment, causing the target to live up to the promises that they make.
Oh,
so I don't know, man. Maybe you make a boutonniere or like a bouquet out of it for your wedding.
I always love their descriptions. They're always so to the point. They tell you one or two really good uses for something, right out of the gate. I just always love, I miss that herb wall. I need to get back there, because I miss just like flipping little packets over and be like, what are you doing? Oh, yeah. What are you? Yeah. And then like getting a little bit of info and then just like perusing. I need to go.
Hearth Wisdom. But that's what I got for you from Narstachius Jadamanzi /Spikenard /Nard/Narden.
Narden?
Narden.
What did you say? Have you been saying Narden at all? And I've missed it?
They referred to it, let me see, I'm scrolling through my notes. Pliny referred to it as Nardus.
Pliny's always got
and then
different.
Yeah. Nardus sounds like he's trying to say not us, but he's Australian.
Nardus? No, I don't think so.
Why won't you let me have anything?
Nardus.
Nardus.
Yeah, like Australian sound.
Fine.
Wowie.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Well,
That's
it. That's all I hate. That's all I got.
We've talked about a lot. We've said a lot of words.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. As we do.
Yeah. We said things at each other. Two people that listen for some reason.
Two people that listen. Hey, look, when this all goes away and nobody listens anymore, we'll still have each other. We'll still be our listeners to each other.
Yeah, we'll be like, like how they talk about how, like, when the universe ends and all of the stars die out and the universe is essentially just like a cold, dark place full of just like these old stars that just kind of emit a light and you can just kind of see them from each other, just kind of see this like old star. That's you and me. We're those old stars still there talking to each other out in the void when no one cares anymore.
That is terrifying and adorable all at once. Mm-hmm. I'm so scared right now.
You can just think about that. Take that with you.
Thank you. Put it in your pocket. Mm-hmm. Great.
All right.
I'm gonna leave and have an absolute existential over this.
Have one spiral, but in a good way.
I need my spiraling spiral.
Gotta get your spiral.
I don't have one, dude.
Yeah, just spin around real fast.
Spin real, and my obsessions will be clear.
Will go away. Oh god, dude, I read that and I was like, you belong at the bottom, at the very last thing that I say about this thing. Like, it's you.
Yes.
You get that place of honor.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like a good little footnote.
Oh god.
Good little footy. A little bit of footy. Yeah, he's fit.
He's so fit.
He's fit.
Yeah.
What else did we notice? Obviously. Right.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, obviously he's fit.
I stopped watching that like about an hour after you left. Uh-huh. And I especially because I was also tired and I was like, I don't know what to do with this day. I've been up all night long. This is strange.
Watching Love Island.
Watching Love Island largely
on
all
Yule.
Long.
Stay awake. Yes.
Eve. Very strange night. And I found myself starting to understand them. Like, not in their language, their actions. Like, I remember starting to be like, well, yeah, I don't blame her for being upset. And then I was like, I'm turning this off.
I remember you wrote me and you were like, I found myself identifying with the bitch girl, so I had to turn it off.
Yeah, I was like, I'm out. I'm checking out. I'll see it next year.
Speaking of see you next year, I'll see you all next year. Bye.
Bye.
What if we
All right, so here's this.